realistic.
Yeah.
Do you think it'll help you?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I've always been looking for something um, to scrub better with. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it but basically it's very convenient because
Mhm.
you don't have to worry about
Yeah.
um, you don't have to worry about finding your soap. You just scrub it with that thing, and you, to make it work, it requires the right pressure.
Yeah.
So then, you're it's like it's better than having a washcloth
Yeah.
because washcloths you you could do with washcloths.
Yeah.
And this thing on my leg hurts.
Mhm.
I guess physical therapy isn't there today, so
Mm.
they're all
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, so your physical therapy person came?
No, they're not working today. I guess.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I figured they were off. Most things are closed today. The only places that appear to be open are the 24/7 places. Hmm.
What's a kangaroo court?
It's when you know you're not going to get a fair trial. It's just a setup to look like a good court. Um,
Oh,
they basically just you know frame you or do the procedure inappropriate so that they're assured um, that you will be found guilty. I can get you an official
oh.
definition if you like.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
You told me.
Yeah. Maybe I'll read you the short description. A kangaroo court is a mock or unofficial tribunal that disregards established legal procedures and principles, resulting in a biased, unfair trial with a predetermined outcome, often involving a lack of due process, impartial judge, or proper evidence rules. These courts can be formal, like a biased municipal court, or informal, like a fraternity or prison group deciding minor offenses, but always sacrifice justice for speed, bias, or convenience. Mhm. Yeah, so that's the kind of trials they have in Saudi Arabia and Iran, pretty much.
Oh,
Yep. Among certain Trump supporters, there's extreme resentment that other people have the rights we do here in America. They want basically all trials to be kangaroo courts based on their intuitions, not the rule of law and the rules of evidence. That's why they're attacking the judiciary and the lawyers as well. And the other thing is, you know, put it another way, we need Judaism in this country because You have no Jews, then you have no justice, because the idea of justice, at least in Western civilization, comes from the Jews. No, so this is what Jesus was essentially saying when he said that salvation comes through the Jews. What he's saying is he's referring to the Latin term "jus," meaning justice. So, in other words, you have no justice system if you don't honor the Jewish heritage, and you have no elected presidents if you do not honor the Christian side of things. So it was a way to balance between a dictatorship and a justice system that would stand up for the weak and poor and stuff like that against the supreme leader. And then, of course, you have the Congress, which works as essentially a communion of saints who are all doing a seance, so to speak, and listening for the words of the Holy Spirit, which is in the law, which is why those who dwell in justice dwell within the law, because they know the law. Now, of course, a lot of people would now call members of Congress hypocrites because they were able to make easy laws, like shortcuts, to get where they were because of their privileges or whatever, when us average people didn't have a chance. But I think eventually, next turn of things, we will. They say what comes around goes around, and coming full circle, what they mean is that, the shoe could be on the other foot. Like we could have complete opposite alignment of who's on top and who's on the bottom, basically. Who's playing God and who's playing Jesus or the Israelites in the desert. Yeah. And that comes from an astrological understanding of the stuff.
Oh, it's not a case of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
it's weird because I just happen to have this
See, that's the thing. This turnaround, you're not the one in power. You're the one who's taking someone else's medication in order to correct your mind. See, it's less about your body than your mind, which is your soul.
Well, I guess maybe I've done something wrong.
Yeah. So basically, all scientific medicine is a form of mind control, whether it solves the problem or not.
It's not solving my problem.
Yeah.
In
It's
fact,
just to get you to comply with someone in power. And so the thing is, just as with psychiatry, regular medicine works that way too. Often doctors will diagnose certain things for money and power rather than, their accuracy, because the thing is, they're going by the heuristics, the rules of thumb, so to speak, because they've had to, memorize huge amounts of information, huge amounts of more generalized information, whereas the specialists focus on their specialty, and so they have higher knowledge within that specialty. It's just that the GP is the one who works with the patient more often, and so the GP is more of a preventative role, whereas the specialist takes more of an emergency role if something bad happens with, a particular area of the body.
DoorDash took my money. I had $10 in my account. They charged me for it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That program's really good about Jesus.
Mhm. What about Jesus?
They have stuff in there that I didn't even know.
Oh, is he watching The Chosen?
No.
Oh, okay. But you've seen The Chosen, right?
Yeah, it's not that good.
They try to fill in the gaps. Well, I mean, the commentary shows they put a lot of work into it. I mean,
No,
obviously, they try to
it's
make
not
him
that,
look
it's-
as Jewish as possible.
they got a lot of people that work in that shouldn't be, like Mormons.
So you think it's too Mormon leaning? How's it Mormon leaning?
Well, no, I don't know. But, yeah, to have a false religion dealing with it, I don't.
All right, I'll have to Google to get more information. Um,
But
how was the production of The Chosen related to the Mormon Church? Oh, you're right. It says The Chosen's production has notable ties to members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, LDS, particularly through its distributor, Angel Studios, co-founded by LDS brothers, and by filming at the church's recreated Jerusalem set in Utah. But show creator Dallas Jenkins insists the show isn't Mormon produced and maintains biblical, non denominational, evangelical control over content, though some viewers debate artistic liberties and potential influence. Key connections to the LDS community. Angel Studios, the crowdfunding and distribution partner for The Chosen. Angel Studios was co founded by Latter day Saint brothers Neil and Jeffrey Harmon. Filming location. The production used the church's film set of ancient Jerusalem in Goshen, Utah for several episodes, a rare permission granted to a non-church production. Interesting. LDS team members, executive producers, crew, and other personnel involved with the show have LDS backgrounds, including executive producer Daryl
And
Eves.
I looked at for you.
okay,
And you can take this
I
again.
thought he took that though.
What?
I took the Kevin.
You get another one at 12.
Oh,
And you can take this again now, okay?
I do have a question.
You what?
I have I all of a sudden develop pain here. It
Okay.
feels like it's burning,
All right.
and then there's pain in my on my foot.
Have you ever felt that pain before?
Mhm.
Okay.
Who's my nurse?
I am.
Oh, good. I love you,
I am. All right.
Supergirl.
This is Supergirl.
Yeah,
What does the pain feel like?
it feels like it's burning.
Burning?
Like somebody took a hot shit. I was just laying here and all of a sudden started appearing. I don't know if it's because I'm laying on something that.
What are you laying on? You're laying on your phone?
No, I'm laying. My back. It's coming from my back, but I
Do you normally have back pain?
No, I came in here with that. And
Yeah. Maybe it's because you've been laying a lot. So let's lay like this for a little bit, okay? And
Mhm.
see if the pain dies down a little bit. If not, I can give you another pain medication, okay?
it doesn't seem to do anything.
Well, how long have you been laying like this for?
For a long time. Oh, no, I mean I was on my back, and I don't know that they lost my big blue cup, So,
Yeah, because when you lay in one position for a while, it's gonna start to hurt. Okay.
well, my tailbone hurts.
Yeah. Do you want a lidocaine patch?
Yeah.
All right. Let me go grab one. Okay.
Do you think a lidocaine patch would be good for my leg? I don't know.
Hmm.
I guess when it, it wouldn't help me like that.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Ugh. Another gavel pen. I don't know. My brother made these cookies, but I never was a fan of chocolate chips. But a lot of people like chocolate chips. There'll be some more of those in the raisin oatmeal at BJ's.
Mhm. Yeah.
I hope I don't lose my job.
It's very minty. Smell it. So
Wow.
it should provide some relief. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where you want it? Right here. Right.
L2 to L.
Mm.
L2 and L3.
Right here
I guess.
or right here.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, it's fine.
Let me know if that does anything. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Did you take your pill?
Yep.
Did you take this?
Oh, what? Oh,
Your albuterol?
no. Yeah, my nurse is. She's really tough looking. Like she works in the prison.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. Got the albuterol. Oh man, stupid pain. I don't know what it is. Oh, they put Richard on my albuterol now. Uh-oh. Didn't know it was getting to eat already.
Oh wow.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
It is 12 o'clock, I guess.
Yeah.
You need me to open anything for you?
I guess. Oh, well, this Medbus I can put somewhere else. I put the other Medbus in the bag. I feel bad that they lost my cup.
It probably fell behind this disc.
No, they lost it.
They lost it.
They took it out and then never brought it back.
What in the world?
The older lady, the older nurse.
That don't make no sense. You need me to cut your ham up for you?
Yeah. So I actually get ham. My brother said, "Are you getting ham?" I laughed and I said, "It's funny."
Yeah, I actually did ham today. Something Christmassy. I had this for dinner yesterday.
Yeah.
My mom made it.
Wow. That's
Salad,
cool.
potatoes, and
I
ham.
wish I had my mom.
Ugh.
Of course, my mom was not really that much of a mom.
Ugh.
She tried to be, but
Happens that way sometimes. Sometimes.
well,
My mom wasn't the best mom either until I had my own kids.
Well, I tell
Now
you,
she's better.
tell you the truth. Nobody would want my childhood.
Merry Christmas.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Hmm. Hmm. How long is that stuff supposed to take to work?
What?
How long does that stuff take to work?
I don't know. I don't think it ever does work.
Hmm.
Oh, the lidocaine patch. I don't know.
Hmm.
It doesn't seem to help much.
Well, every medicine has holes in it like condoms.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's burning me. Feels like my leg is on fire.
Yeah. Wow.
It's some kind of nerve pain, but I don't know what it is. It's new. I've
Yeah.
never had this before.
Yeah.
This table is so hard to maneuver. It's just
Yeah.
cool too. Oh, this situation. I'm gonna reach for my comb. If I reach for my comb, probably fall out of bed. Okay. Well, that was interesting. I actually got my. Oh, I can't get up though. Ah. These beds are so stupid. They're the worst beds in the world. I don't understand why I don't get beds that are decent.
Yeah.
My bed at home is actually better than this bed. These beds are probably really more expensive. They have this stupid law that you don't. They have this some Congress or not Congress. Maybe
Yeah.
it's Congress. A stupid law that says, you can't have
Yeah.
in nursing homes. You can't have guardrails on your bed. It's considered confinement.
Yeah.
I'm like, who the heck made a stupid law like that?
Hmm.
I mean, when you're oh goodness. Whew. Oh man, I got my lunch in place, but it's so far down.
Yeah.
Oh man, ow! That thing burns.
Yeah.
It's so hard to feed yourself here.
Like that.
Ow! This new pain is like it's
Yeah.
like hot iron.
Oh yeah, but
Mhm.
you have to put a button on this thing, even though you want to.
Ugh.
We're gonna lay you down for a second. It's just for smart people like us. How you feeling today, Richard? Worse. Are you good? Cross your yesterday. You have to do it every day.
No,
I know everybody. Hear that? Or Lydia.
all of a sudden, my legs started feeling like, ooh.
It's okay. You don't have a phone call.
Um,
You want it? Can I sit you on one to eat?
yeah.
Call me when. More?
I-
Tell me when to stop.
That's good, I guess.
Okay.
No, my leg, it didn't start hurting until right this morning, and now it feels
Well,
like
we said Merry Christmas. It said, here's
no,
some pain.
no, what happened is it just seemed like
Is it this one?
it's the right leg and the
Oh.
little toe.
Yeah.
It's not the little toe, but the next little.
Like the second little.
And here, my quadricep, like this muscle here, it feels like somebody put a hot iron on it.
Ice pack?
I don't know. I don't
You
know.
don't know what to help?
Um,
If we could try ice packing a little bit, see if that'll help a little.
it makes sense to have an ice pack, but
You need me to cut it, Bill? You need me to cut it? Okay.
oh,
Okay. You got that? Yeah. All right, honey. All right, enjoy your lunch, guys.
thank you.
Hmm.
Hmm. Oh, stupid leg. Just burns so bad.
Yeah.
There's hair. Oh, I thought it was hair on my tray.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what's going on with me. Dale's mother's in a nursing home.
Yeah.
I'm sort of surprised because Alma, his wife, took care of her mother in her home, but Dale doesn't do that for his own mother. That's really strange. Maybe she was too much to handle. I don't know. She had a stroke. Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry I'm here because
Yeah.
you could have came over to my place, but I can't go home.
So if you were at home, you would have let me visit you.
Yeah.
Were you hoping I'd help you clean up too?
No, I probably would have cleaned enough.
Well, the other thing is you wouldn't like if I cleaned up for you because then you wouldn't know where anything was. 'Cause- Yeah, I'm like that too. There's a method to my madness. If I make my own mess, I remember where everything is. If it's all straightened
Yeah.
out, I have to figure out where everything is again.
Right.
Sometimes it
You don't
takes
have
weeks
near-
for me to figure out a new arrangement. Yeah. That's why I don't clean very often.
Mm. Well, at least you're not like Brian. Oh my goodness, his house looks.
Mhm.
He has an age, and his house looks like a.
Mhm.
I don't know. I can't believe that his age lets it like that.
Yeah.
My freaking leg is unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really surprised to get ham. My brother has asked me about getting ham, and I said I laughed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
They have this trial of Jesus on the
Yeah.
History Channel.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Well, do you want to start on some of my old?
But
Do you want to start on some of my old psychiatry papers?
hmm.
Yeah, because I want you to psychoanalyze me as best you can. It'll be candid. Let's see. I don't want to start. Okay. I'll start at the bottom. On the hard to reach stuff. Okay. Transact Health Systems of Berks County, 1940 North 13th Street, Suite 200, Reading, Pennsylvania 19604 215 2520. Remember when we used to have 215 as the area code for like Berks and Lancaster counties? Wasn't that wild? Anyway, the date was December the 1st, 1994. The records provided in this packet include initial evaluation summary letter, consultation reports, final case summary, and medication follow-up notes. And the doctor at the time was Margaret Mary Wilkins, the regional medical director. So the two key questions that they wrote about on March the 15th, 1991 was, what factors are contributing to Christopher's difficulty meeting behavioral expectations? And two, what factors are contributing to Christopher's enuresis? You know what enuresis is, right? Bedwetting.
Really wow.
Yeah. So this was like over 30 years ago. Okay. Clinical evaluation of these questions included historical data collection and review, vision and hearing screening, physical examination, neuromaturational testing, psychoeducational testing, language assessment, case formulation, and treatment planning. The results of the evaluation have been discussed in detail with Dr. and Mrs. Trachty. They have consented to my sharing the results of the evaluation with you. The attached case formulation pages contain a list of factors the team identified as contributing to Christopher's problems. These factors were identified after examining, analyzing, and integrating information from multiple sources. Management objectives have been formulated to address each factor as well as their transactions. If you would like additional information regarding Christopher's assessment, we encourage you to contact the case coordinator, Marta Mulligan, MSP CCC SLPL at 921-2520. And then it's signed by Margaret Mary Wilkins, DO, Regional Medical Director, and Marta Mulligan, MSP CCC SLPL Case Coordinator. And then the typist was PGR. Okay. So they were trying to figure out my behavior, and it says, even though this is fuzzy, it says, 1, temperament. Several of Christopher's temperamental characteristics can affect behavior, including high activity, looks like distractibility. High activity, distractibility, and arrhythmicity. Wow. Slow adaptation, short persistence, low threshold, and intense reactions. Wow. Did you ever have any of those stuff? Like, were you ever said to be impatient when you were young? Like, or that you weren't like steadfast at working on a task or something?
I got part of the question. I didn't get the end.
Okay. Well, the thing is, did you ever like, you know, lash out at people? Did you get like mad at people like pretty spontaneously, like I did? No?
As an adult, not as a kid.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I can imagine you must have been terrified as a kid, you know, having a mom like yours and stuff like that. But I mean, also, were the teachers as strict as mine back then? Because, well, first of all, did your teachers ever say that you couldn't sit still or that you couldn't focus on one thing at a time?
No, they said I was retarded.
Really? That's all they said? Huh, interesting. Well, I guess that could be our difference in socioeconomic status coming into play there. How about slow adaptation? Like, were you not able to adapt to new situations quickly?
No.
Okay, so it worked for you. Okay, next category is readiness. Christopher displays weaknesses in all areas of communication, word retrieval, and memory skills, with errors characteristics of attention deficit. Have you ever had difficulty finding words or using your memory?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Number 3, attention. All areas of attention were inefficient by report and during the assessment, including arousal level, focus, filtering. Did you ever have trouble with focus filtering? You know, finding the most important information in your surroundings, sounds, sights, etc. Yeah.
I always do.
Okay, so you know what to zero in on in order to get the information or the product you're looking for, right?
No.
Okay, well, when you talk to people, generally speaking, do you know what to say in order to make them cooperative?
No.
Really? That's interesting. But a lot of people still like you. You're not considered like disagreeable like I was.
Well, I don't. I think I'm pretty much the same as you.
Okay. All right. So, what else? Okay. Let's see, including arousal level, focus filtering, impulsivity. Are you pretty impulsive?
No.
Okay. How about problem solving? Do you have problems with problem solving? especially with comparing logic statements that look almost identical?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Did you ever play those logic games where they try to have you do process of elimination to figure out which person is riding which bus at which time, or which clown is wearing which outfit, you know, on top and on bottom and stuff like that? No? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, they're called logic games or logic puzzles.
No one talks about it over and over again. It's one,
Like here's another example. So when you try to figure out, you know, the amount of money that each of the contestants won in like a game show or a lottery or something like that, an example of statement would be, Al won more than Charles, but less than Betty. So that would be one of the clues, and then another one, you know, would say that, you know, Betty made more than Leon or something like that. So you have to order how much each of them made in order. Those were always pretty much a challenge for me, but they gave me tons of those when I went to Jana's school because that was where my weakness was, incidentally. And then I found out I had my own way of doing these logic problems, you know, as if I had learned them in a different country or something like that. I don't know. Okay.
that's cool.
Yeah.
A
You
lot
know-
of people have trouble with those things.
Well, you know, in the Middle East and also in China, they do math completely differently. Like China has more of like an abacus method, and the Middle East has those boxes instead of like what we would know as long multiplication or long division. They do it in those boxes that look like, you know, backward L's and stuff like that. Yeah, it looks very strange. I saw my friend Damir Ubadelovich Emanov do it in front of me before. He's now a statistician for some kind of major finance company in New York. But anyway, let's see. Impulsivity, problem solving, vigilance, and monitoring. So the thing is, do you always feel like you have to, you know, watch your surroundings for like danger, if you will, as a result of your trauma?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's me too. Yeah. And then, how do you usually monitor a situation to know that you're safe?
Look around myself.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hang on a sec. I have to use the bathroom real quick. I drank a lot today. All right. Okay. All right. So, where were we? Okay. So, let's see. All right. High activity, distractibility, arithmeticity, slow adaptation, short persistence, low threshold, and intense reactions. Areas of communication, word retrieval, memory skills with areas characteristic of attention deficit. Arousal level, focus, filtering, impulsivity, problem solving, vigilance, and monitoring. Particular difficulty was seen in arousal level with resultant self-stimulating behavior, i.e., constant moving, walking. Do you ever feel a constant need to be moving around at all? Okay. And as a child, were you, fairly active? I mean, did you run like everybody else? I mean, except for, the slight misstep of your bent legs or whatever.
I couldn't walk.
You couldn't walk at all. Okay, so you probably couldn't run then. Okay. Um. Let's see. Well, did you ever do self-stimulating behavior at all? To try and wake yourself up and stuff. Do you ever click your tongue? You ever whistle? You ever blink your eyes? You ever tap your foot? Those
No.
kinds of things. No, nothing like that. Okay. Do you ever feel like your thinking is better when you walk around or when you're on a bike or something like that, or on a treadmill?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. Well, did you know that in Aristotle's time, somebody who thinks better when they walk around is called a peripatetic? Anyway, so it says these weaknesses meet the criteria for attention deficit disorder with hyperactivity, neuromaturation. Christopher showed deficiencies in neuromaturation, including soft signs, fine/gross motor weaknesses. Did you ever have trouble with fine or gross motor weaknesses?
I do.
Oh, okay, but that's more due to like a physical thing, right? Rather than neurological.
It's neurological.
Oh, okay. All right. And then, of course, I don't know what soft signs are. Do you remember offhand? Have to Google that.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Okay. In what are soft signs in ADHD diagnosis? It says soft signs in ADHD diagnosis refer to subtle motor and coordination issues like poor balance, clumsiness, or difficulty with rapid movements, dysrhythmia, that aren't due to a specific brain injury but signal underdeveloped or integrated neurological circuits, often seen alongside core ADHD symptoms and indicating functional impairment. These neurological soft signs, NSS, reflect challenges in sensory motor integration and are common, appearing as difficulties with fine motor skills, finger tapping, balance, which is tandem walk, whatever that is, or movements like mirror movements, synkinesis. Do you know what a tandem walk is, by the way?
No.
Okay. Okay. Okay, let's see here. What is a tandem walk? A tandem walk or gait is walking in a straight line with one foot placed directly in front of the other, heel touching toe, like walking on a tightrope. It's a balance exercise and clinical test that challenges stability, improves coordination, strengthens lower body muscles, and helps diagnose neurological issues like ataxia, often used in sobriety tests too. All right. So, common examples of soft signs in ADHD: motor coordination, clumsiness, poor handwriting, difficulty with rapid alternating hand movements, or trouble with finger to nose tests. Balance and gait, poor balance, hopping, or a clumsy walk, even without a known injury. Motor overflow, synkinesis, unintended movements in other body parts, e.g., mouth opening when moving a hand. Sensory integration, difficulty with right-left confusion, stereognosis, identifying objects by touch, or visual motor tasks. Timing and rhythm, trouble with repetitive or patterned movements like rhythm tapping. Markers of atypical development, NSS, are seen as indicators of subtle neurodevelopmental delays. Correlate with severity. More soft signs can suggest greater functional impairment impacting school and social life. Helpful in evaluation. While not a primary diagnostic criterion, they add valuable information to the overall picture, helping to understand the neurobiological basis of ADHD. Responsive to treatment. Stimulant medication for ADHD can sometimes improve these motor difficulties. right. All right. Back to the thingy thing. And of course, the last thing they mentioned, of course, is the enuresis, which can be additional markers for the presence of and biological basis for ADD. Okay. How is enuresis related to ADHD? Enuresis, or bedwetting, and ADHD often co-occur due to shared neurological roots like delayed central nervous system development affecting bladder control and arousal, causing difficulty waking to pee, processing bladder signals, or impulse issues, with studies showing high rates around 40% of ADHD in enuretic kids requiring integrated management like alarms, medications, or tech-based therapies for better results. Shared causes and mechanisms. Brain development delays. Both conditions involve disruptions in brain development, particularly areas like the thalamus, which is for arousal, and frontal lobe, which is for attention and impulse control, impacting a child's ability to stay dry. Arousal and sleep. Children with ADHD/enuresis often have deeper sleep or struggle to wake up when their bladder signals full, linked to the brain's arousal system. Interesting. That makes so much sense now. Signal processing. ADHD can affect the brain's ability to interpret bladder fullness signals, leading to accidents. Impulse control. Inattention and impulsivity can delay toilet training and the development of healthy habits.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mhm.
My mom got me a spinal tap.
Mhm.
I'll tell you what, that was the worst headache I ever
Yeah. Mm.
had. It actually gave me pain in my shoulders.
So they drained too much fluid from you, huh?
No, it wasn't that. It was, I was a very unsedated child.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they put me to sleep. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Yeah.
very rambling as
Mhm.
a kid.
Yeah. Hmm.
I don't know exactly why,
Yeah.
but I
Mhm.
was very, very bratty. I don't know. I was a kid that nobody wanted.
I felt kind of like that too, but my mom tried to soften things up. She was always very good at like giving gifts to the teachers and stuff like that. And of course, obviously, she would always go to the parent teacher conferences and stuff like that. Okay. So it says a positive family history of behavioral problems can place Christopher at an increased risk for the same. Home and school stress regarding Chris's problems can increase frustration, intensity, and persistence on Chris's part. Comparisons. Says Chris lacks the self-awareness, empathy, and locus of control necessary to behave appropriately. Uncertainty on the parent's part of Chris's abilities and the etiology of his problems may result in ineffective management and weak match of expectations. Okay. Well, did people say that you had a lack of self-awareness at all?
Oh yeah.
And did people ever say that you had a lack of empathy?
No.
Okay. And
Yes, I don't know what, I don't remember anybody saying that, but
Mhm. But people just avoided you like the plague, right?
well, it's because I was always wanting my own way,
Uh-huh.
especially when I was sick. Oh my goodness,
Mhm.
I was horrible when I was sick.
Yeah.
I couldn't breathe, and I was I would be crying and crying, and then my grandma used to get these big twin bars,
Hmm.
vanilla. I like vanilla twin bars.
Yeah. Interesting, though, how characteristic of your generation, you said that you were horrible, as if you were blaming your situation on yourself, um, on your character, rather than the situation that you didn't have control over.
Well, I don't know. I used to bang my head on the floor,
Hmm.
and because that would I don't know. I don't know why I did it. I think it's because it got me the attention that I wanted.
All
Yeah.
done?
Yeah. Thank you. It's good. Oops.
Oh, almost done.
Oh, napkin.
Well, I wanted the napkins anyway. Thank you. Yeah. My friend in Reading,
Mhm.
um, Chris and Janet, and
Mhm.
right. She worked in a nursing home. She
Mhm.
worked in Berkshire.
Mm.
Not even she 3 did that.
No, are you all done?
I stopped
Yeah, there was a recent attempt to sell Berksheim, and of course, the county blocked it because Berksheim is so important to those who are less fortunate, and can't afford like the more hoity-toity medical care.
Well, to tell you the truth, I'd rather be in Berkshire than here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I think that's because it's run by the county here rather than a private entity. A private entity will always try and cut costs, whereas a public entity tends to have more supervision and a more robust chain of command for complaints and stuff.
Well, that one nurse, I don't know what her problem is.
Mhm.
She's a smoker, and she has constant
Mhm.
pneumonia.
Yeah,
She said
Yeah.
she'd like to
yeah.
choke me.
Oh, geez. Hmm. Hmm.
As I complained about the perfume sprayer, I don't know. And then they told me they took it down. They didn't take it down.
Hmm.
Why would they take it down? You can't even take it down anyway, even if you want to.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
I wonder what happened to Marie.
Hmm.
Marie was much older than me. I didn't realize she's already 80 years old. She said I can call her, but I don't know why. She just,
Hmm.
I just wrote her a letter and said I can't really do a friendship that's one-sided.
Yeah.
And then I stopped communicating with
I
her.
know, it was like, yeah. So I wrote her a letter, said I couldn't live without her no more. Give me a ticket for an airplane. Ain't got time to take a fast train. Lonely days are gone. I'm a going home. My baby just wrote me a letter. Yeah.
My mom's boyfriend said
Yeah.
that said that he liked Taylor Swift.
Oh, okay.
She said, well, he doesn't have a good opinion about anything or what Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
He said she's a good girl.
Well, it seems like everybody born in 1989 had some kind of weird advantage. You know, Sergey was born in 1989, supposedly.
Really,
Yeah.
to tell you the truth, I mean,
Do you remember what was happening in 1989 as far as the Cold War? Wasn't that some kind of turning point? What wasn't HW in power at the time?
why did they call it the Cold War?
Because it was basically fought without any special weapons. So it was a very straightforward, simple weapons kind of war, synonymous with the word cold, which is going to do a simple, ordinary war. No, magical weapons, no UFO type, esoteric weapons or anything like that. Just tanks and planes and guns and ships and stuff like that. But mostly the Cold War was fought through proxies such as Israel. And the thing is, like I've said many times, if that peace treaty between Israel and Egypt had not been made, we would have probably gone to direct war with the Soviet Union back then. And the Middle East would have been destabilized back then more than it is now. What?
There's my.
You remember how it was back and forth, right? The Israelis took Sinai, and then the Egyptians took back Sinai, and then they'd made it all the way to the Golan Heights, and then nobody knows how the Israeli soldiers survived the fight at the Golan Heights, but they fended off the Egyptians somehow, and blah, 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 blah. I mean, things went back and forth like that between Israel and the Arab League, like forever. And then, of course, after they had that first major peace treaty with Jimmy Carter and stuff like that, then only, groups like Hamas were still, trying to do stuff. So the two intifadas, of course, started with them, of course, planting bombs from within Israeli society. And then, of course, Israel's like, well, we want to negotiate with the nice Palestinians. We don't want to negotiate with mean ones, And so they negotiated for a while. But then after this October 7th thing now, they're like, it's over. We're never going to trust again. We want to totally beat the crap out of them and, never trust the UN again either. I mean, which of course makes sense because it's just been going on for so long. They figure how else were they going to end it, and of course, Israel had the resources to end it once and for all, technically, except that, like small cell terrorism is really hard to track. Just like some families in nuclear families in the United States who are Christians sometimes act as terror cells, like especially if they're anti-Semitic or anti-Catholic or something like that. Just FYI.
Did you ever think that your issues with your ADHD?
Oh yeah, sure.
Dr. Dean Adele had ADHD.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. So anyway, let's go on with this. Okay. So Chris lacks the self-awareness, empathy, and locus of control necessary to behave appropriately. Uncertainty on the parent's part of Chris's abilities and the etiology of his problems may result in ineffective management and weak match of expectations. So they were basically saying that, you know, there were there was almost seemingly no way that I could make normal expectations within the school system for like appropriate behavior or whatever. I was just too out of the box, and you know, it was really hard to contain me. Um, okay, so it says management objectives. Oh, by the way, you weren't like that. You weren't like uncontainable and like always like your head in the clouds and having big ideas like me, right? No.
Well, I, um, yeah, I had my head in the clouds all the time.
Oh, okay. A very imaginative, creative person.
Um, more like, more like daydreaming about having the lifestyle of one.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, the thing is, I used to daydream all the time. Um, you know, I would even, you know, fall asleep in class and then, you know, for a second, you know, confuse it with reality as I suddenly woke up with a start and the teacher suddenly got louder or something like that, you know. Um, what I really resented was when the teacher um, would lecture long enough, you know, to make everybody fall asleep and then announce the homework and then lecture some more and then erase the homework assignment. So the thing is, she always tried to post the homework on the board when everybody was the most tired so that some people would miss it. and then and then she would, you know, cite it as a behavioral issue, like a like a choice, a bad choice if you you know, uh, randomly fell asleep because her voice was soporific, putting you to sleep. And then she would tell the other students that like if I called them for the homework assignment, not to give the homework assignment to me. She actually wanted people to fail if they couldn't stay awake, which of course for me was ridiculous unless I was, you know, loaded up on stimulants that were like super long lasting, which would make me basically crash when I came home, which is why I was so grouchy when I came home after taking the Ritalin. And then, of course, they wanted to keep increasing the dose so that there was zero chance that I could ever feel the slightest bit of tiredness ever, you know, until it got to the point where, you know, I was vomiting because the dosage was actually too high for my small frame and body weight. I mean, they were just so desperate for control, you know, and to have me like mainstreamed and stuff like that, you know, that I guess I missed out on, you know, the diving board, so to speak, for the for all of the special ed stuff early on. And my parents did try to call the early intervention people when I was younger, but the early intervention people just wouldn't return my parents' calls. Maybe because you know they just thought, you know, that because my parents, you know, seemed to be prominent in the community and stuff like that, and that they, you know, were medical professionals, that they didn't need any help from, you know, the the county or whatever. Um, uh, I mean, they could have just been, you know, really underfunded, because there are so many more things that you can do for ADHD and autism today that you couldn't do before, uh, as far as accommodations and stuff like that, because the law has got better protecting the learning of people with disabilities. um, let's see. Okay, management objectives. Help parents in school understand the nature of Christopher's problems, targeting attention and temperament. Provide them with cognitive strategies to compensate for attentional weaknesses and increase control of temperamental extremes. What is a temperament, by the way? Temperament. Do you know?
It's like
It's like you'd have mild temperament, like it's like I think it's something to do with how you react to people around you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you could have mild temperament. Well, it
Yeah.
has to do with the word temper, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically, there's supposed to be four classical temperaments. I remember one of them is sanguine. Let me double check. Uh, what is temperament? Okay. Temperament is a person's innate natural style of reacting to the world, encompassing their typical mood, activity level, and emotional intensity, forming the foundation of personality. Present from birth, these core traits like adaptability, sociability, and focus are biologically influenced but shaped by experiences, defining how individuals approach new situations and interact with others. Temperament is present from infancy, even in the womb, and is a biological predisposition, not a choice. Interesting. Foundation for personality. It's the early building block upon which later, more complex personality traits develop as a person interacts with their environment. Stable but influenced. While generally stable, temperament can be nurtured and influenced by family, culture, and experiences, helping individuals develop coping skills. Interesting. So they mentioned the 9 traits: activity level, regularity for biological functions like sleep and hunger, initial reaction / approach and withdrawal, adaptability, intensity of reaction, mood, distractibility, persistence / attention span, sensory threshold. Um, Easy, slow to warm up, active / feisty are examples. Yeah. So interesting. Yeah. Okay. Um, Help Christopher gain awareness of his problems in order to increase control of his behavior, temperament, and compensate for attentional inefficiencies. 4. Conduct a medication trial to assess the attentional response to Ritalin. Okay.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah. Mhm. Yep, this is still the March 15th, 1991 report. Second page of case formulation. Problem number 2: what factors are contributing to Christopher's enuresis? Contributing factors: temperament. Christopher's high activity level, short persistence, distractibility, and arrhythmicity make it difficult for him to establish regular toileting times and to sit long enough for him to fully evacuate both bowel and bladder. Interesting. 2, attention. Oh, by the way, did you ever have trouble with number 1? Did you have late toilet training?
No.
No? Okay. All right.
My brother did.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
He would be sleeping and it would squirt straight up in the air and into my mouth.
Oh, geez. Almost reminds me of the one prank that was done at Christian Student Fellowship, where the one guy sprayed shaving cream up the other guy's leg while he was asleep. All right. Number 2, attention. Children with ADHD often do not pay attention to their own bodily signals to urinate and defecate, thus leading to accidents. Well, half the time the teacher at Catholic school would never let us go to the bathroom. And they saw, obviously, that people were struggling to hold it, but they just wouldn't let them go anyway. And then they only let, one boy and one girl go at a time. And sometimes it would take a while, until somebody got back. Anyway.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's bad for your bladder.
Well, that's the thing. They always had to assume that everybody was just trying to skip class, that everybody was, evil by nature, so to speak, full of that original sin, so to speak. Okay. Neuromaturation. On physical exam, Christopher had quite a bit of stool palpable in his abdomen. I guess there's something called like residual stool or whatever. He also had neuromaturational delays that were 3 standard deviations below the norm for his age. Holy crap. These delays contribute to the cycle of enuresis and chronic constipation. So how were you developmentally? Well, I mean, if you were considered in the R word range, would that put you 3 standard deviations below the norm for your age?
Yeah. My mom said that I developed just like my brother, but
Mhm.
because I had a brother, and
Well,
she said she never saw any delays with me.
but nobody said that you were like an outlier for the normative population or anything like that, right? These are statistical terms.
I'm not sure. Let's see. My mom said that I didn't have any issues with
Mhm.
issues with development,
Mhm.
and she didn't. My mom, I don't know. When I was a kid, she was much better. I
Mhm.
don't know. She was a beautiful brunette woman, and
Mhm.
I often wondered why she bleached her hair blonde.
Mhm.
I just didn't like it.
Well, the studies now show that blondes tend to have more fun because they attract more attention to themselves. That was also noted as the potential inspiration for John Nash's equilibrium theory in A Beautiful Mind. He said, if we go for the blonde, then everybody else will become jealous, and the blondes will say they're getting too much attention, to be a positive thing. And then he said, if we go for the brunette or the other colored hair women, then then everybody's happy because then the blondes aren't getting too much unwanted attention and stuff like that. So there just seems to be like a gravitation toward blondes, but maybe that's because we in general have an almost Nordic white conception of what beauty is and what color codes are and stuff like that. So, I mean, we've had to adjust camera programs for brown and black skinned people. We've had to adjust color coding of clothing for brown and black people. So that they can look aesthetic too. You know, yeah. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. Um, but yeah, like blonde hair has always been like a super debated thing, if you will, and also dyeing one's hair too, as if it will automatically give you some kind of advantage. Um, well, obviously that's the same kind of reason why someone would choose to be transgender too. Um, if they didn't necessarily feel that that was them with their whole soul enough to go through unimaginable suffering. But anyway, so it says here comparisons. Bedwetting can lead to problems with low self-esteem. Okay. Management objectives: healthy daily routine, flat plate abdomen x-ray, treatment to be determined after x-ray results obtained. Now, other than your spinal tap, did you ever get like any kind of scans or x-rays or anything like that back in the day?
No.
Okay. And I remember the worst thing about the enuresis strategy was that at dinner time I was only allowed a half a glass of water to use with an entire plate of food. And so I don't know if that, contributed to my throat's irritation or something like that. But I mean, I just got used to, struggling to eat. And then I learned to eat really slowly. Then they said I was, too slow in elementary school. Then they said I was too fast in high school. And I was pathologized both times for that. Um, I mean, it was just nonsensical. And it's like, well, the one psychiatrist says, "Oh, you pushed the equilibrium too far to the right. Now we got to push it back to the left and give you all kind of, compensatory medications." And the thing is, it's always a pendulum because it's like the blind leading the blind. But anyway, you ever had stuff like that before? No, nobody ever put you on psychoactive medications before, right?
No,
Okay. And no one ever spoke of any sort of like dopamine equilibrium or serotonin equilibrium or whatever.
what?
Dopamine or serotonin imbalance or equilibrium or anything like that?
No,
Nothing
no,
like that? Okay.
no.
Okay. Okay. So let's see. Diagnostic criteria. Okay. Chronic inattention, home, present. Chronic inattention, school, present. Social imperception, present. Ineffective communication, present. Any of these ring a bell with you at all?
I didn't really have that many examinations as a kid, ironically.
Okay, but did you ever feel like you had like a skewed perception of like what people were saying or doing or whatever? Like did people ever say that you over exaggerated things? For any reason?
Yeah, I mean now I do, but I don't know if as a kid.
Yeah.
No,
And nobody told you had ineffective communication at all?
no.
Nobody ever said you
I
had.
never had. I never had the test that you had.
I know, but what are your feelings on this? Did you feel that you had ineffective communication?
No,
Did you feel that you had poor function on your own, like independently?
well the thing that I had sort of dyslexia, but
Mhm.
he said it's a different dyslexia, not.
Yeah.
Well, I did have trouble reversing letters, but that went away. But
Yeah, maybe you'd be good at analyzing anagrams like me, because sometimes the letters just sort of like magically switch in my mind and stuff like that, and then I can't unsee the connection between the one word and the other, if you will. But like okay, I'm trying to remember here. Okay, so I don't know if you're familiar with the phrase hand holding, but my mom always used to say that I needed a lot of hand holding in order to be reassured that I was, a good person or on the right track or whatever. Did you ever feel that you needed something like that, like extra reassurance more than other people, or more exact phrasing than other people, or lengthy explanations?
not really. My mom. I didn't have anybody to do hand holding. Matter of fact, it was the opposite.
Yeah, so you just had to make up something as you went along because you were afraid to speak up, right?
Yeah, well, I was very shy as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
mean, I'm alone in elementary school.
yeah. So did you have trouble, paying attention to the person who was speaking to you at home or at school?
Um,
Ever?
Say that
Did you ever, when you were facing a person and looking into their eyes, did you ever have trouble focusing on their voice, whether it was at home in your house where you lived, or whether it was at school in the classroom?
Oh, no.
No, okay. Do you know what somatic dysfunction is?
Somatic.
All right, let's see here. All
Somatic.
right, what is
Uh,
somatic?
I don't remember anymore.
Hang on. Okay, here we are. Somatic dysfunction is an impaired or altered function of the body's framework, bones, joints, muscles, fascia, and related symptoms, nerves, blood/lymph vessels, causing functional issues rather than structural damage, identifiable by tart tissue texture changes, asymmetry, restriction of motion, and tenderness, and treated with osteopathic manipulative treatment, OMT, to restore normal movement. It stems from mechanical restrictions leading to increased muscle tone and spasms, and can be acute, warm, moist, sharp pain, or chronic, doughy, cool, dull ache. Does that sound familiar at all?
No.
Okay.
I did have a psychiatrist
Mhm.
test me
Mhm.
for
Mhm.
for awareness, and
Mhm.
the guy made an observation.
Yeah.
He said I didn't know, or didn't. It took me a while to learn,
Yeah.
and they did it to me. He did it to me a third time,
Mhm.
a second time.
So it was more of a software issue than a hardware issue.
Well, it was part of it was they he was trying to take the waistband and try to hide from me,
Hmm.
and then
Mhm.
he wanted to see how I dealt with that. But the first two times, I didn't really have awareness that
Yeah.
I was doing something wrong. Then
Yeah.
the third time, he said I got it,
Yeah.
and then so he said once he gets it, he never forgets it.
Yeah.
But it takes me a while to get it.
Hmm.
Man.
Oh, and by the way, did they ever say that you were over aroused for the things that wouldn't bother other people, and under aroused for the things that would bother other people?
No,
Oh,
I never
okay.
had testing for that.
Yeah, because the thing is, stuff that other people, might find more serious, I find funny, and then stuff that they find funny, I see no humor in. It's so weird. Yeah.
Your humor works just fine as far as I
Well,
know.
well, that's the thing, though. I tend to have a more verbose contextual humor, and they tend to have a more simple raunchy humor and stuff like that. I mean, I've learned how to do that sort of thing, as if it's some sort of requirement. And then, of course, there's other people in, say, the conservative counterculture who say absolutely unacceptable, and we're going to make your life hell, because you ever, said anything like that.
Gosh, the school that I went to, they were really tough
Yeah.
on the kids because they were. I mean, there was this beautiful blonde-haired handicapped girl. She had the same handicap as me,
Yeah.
and what the heck, my paper's falling off.
Yeah.
So anyways, it ended up they were going to take her to a children's home, or
Uh-huh.
to a,
Mhm.
they were going to take her away from her mom
Yeah.
because she didn't write an excuse blank.
Uh-huh. Wow.
The girl was terrorized and she wanted me to save her.
Yeah. Wow.
She said, "Save me, please. Oh, stop them, stop them. They're going to take me away. They're going to take me away."
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Well, I'm only a little boy. I can't. I don't know what to do."
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny how people rely on me,
Mm-hmm.
and because I appear to have stability, I guess. I don't know. And it's funny because I care about people,
Yeah.
and I think that's what's
Mhm.
my issue. And
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to serve her so bad. Be left alone.
Mm-hmm.
I should have tried to speak up and
Mm-hmm.
tried to save her from getting taken away. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just felt paralyzed.
Hmm.
And to me,
Mhm.
that excuse blank thing was ridiculous.
Yeah.
You don't give.
Yeah.
You don't have you missed 3 excuse blanks. They took you away from your parents.
Mhm. Uh,
I wish I knew what happened to that girl.
yeah.
I don't even remember what her name was.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else you can remember about your personal Jenny, so to speak? I'm making a Forrest Gump reference.
Personal what?
Well, remember when Forrest Gump first sees Jenny? He said that she was nothing like he'd ever seen before, that she was like an angel.
I don't remember that.
And she's the only one who allows him to sit next to her.
Well, you know that this Egyptian girl is really pretty and she's really nice to me.
Mhm.
She said I scared her to death because she thought I had a fever.
Hmm.
But I mean, because I said it was boiling hot, and then
Hmm.
I was coughing my face off.
Hmm.
She said she scared her. It scared the heck out of her. I
Yeah.
really thought that was kind for her to care about me that much.
Yeah.
I built a rapport with her because I'm fascinated with her culture.
Yeah.
And the car driver was Egyptian.
Hmm. Oh, interesting.
I asked her what language she speaks, and she said Egyptian. I said I didn't even know that was a language. I really never heard it.
Well, yeah. I mean, it depends on where you go. I mean, technically, all the Arab languages are supposed to be different forms of Arabic, but you still need to learn them all separately. I believe Amazon has like a boxed set of like books to study all of the different dialects of Arabic. The kind that's spoken in Egypt is typically the Levantine type.
Mhm.
Which is also spoken in Israel, by the way, and is also spoken by Middle Eastern Christians as well. It may be based on Coptic, ancient Coptic.
Yeah, I heard that before too, but I don't know if she's Coptic or not.
Yeah.
She's very wonderfully nice.
Well, maybe sometime I ought to take you to see the Coptic church in Lebanon, because it's really, really pretty. I've never looked at the inside before, but the outside is really nice.
Well, I am really trying to figure out why this thing is burning me.
Hmm.
It's nerves, but obviously they're breaking down.
Hmm.
It's not good.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do about it.
Hmm.
It appears what I don't know. I just don't know.
Hmm. Hmm. Did you know that age being less than 5 years is also higher risk for having ADHD?
Age,
ADHD, attention deficit. Yeah.
yeah, age. You said
Age.
age less than
Yeah.
5
Yeah.
years.
Age less than 5 years. Yeah. Mhm. Now,
What does that mean?
well, if you're aged newborn, 1 year old, 2 year old, 3 year old, 4 year old, you're at higher risk for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder than after you turn 5 years old. That's all it means.
Um, I didn't know that, but
Yeah.
I tell you the truth.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's amazing that people.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, anyway, the next thing listed is history of adverse reaction. It says absent. I would say the only thing that I had was a big rash from the penicillin, but anyway, it says an adverse reaction is any undesirable, unintended, and harmful response to a treatment or medication that occurs even when the product is used correctly at a standard dose. Um, okay. And then it also says I'm absent for seizure disorder. Um, and then it says I am equivocal for chronic illness, meaning I'm having similar complications and needs for accommodation, I guess. Um, and then, oh yes, and it mentions the bedwetting under chronic illness. And then under pregnancy, that would be, my mom having me. Um, and this was a repeat C section or cesarean section because my mom said they first started to do the regular kind of birth, but then they decided since it was getting tight that they ought to do it the same way that they did with my older sister, and just do the cesarean section method. Um, yeah, rather than the standard birth. So yeah.
that is not helping at all. Because the standard pain
Mhm.
it's really hurt me.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to do.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's a very interesting story. And how your mom and your dad was offended for you.
Uh-huh.
My mom tried to be
Mhm.
spoke to a psychiatrist and then
Mhm. Yeah.
anyways, I was just wondering
Yeah.
um, my mom was only a tad short of my feet because and then she put shoes. She made me wear jellies, little girls' jellies.
Mhm.
She said it worked really good on them.
What are those? Are those like
They're
slippers?
They're like see-through sparkly slippers.
Oh, okay.
But they're hard plastic.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, the next thing on the list, it says tics / unusual motor activity, and it mentions my throat clearing. I sometimes clear my throat more when I'm nervous or when I'm crying, stuff like that. But also, when I have higher levels of dopamine. So it could have been the Ritalin. Um, and it could have been also that I have an already naturally high amount of dopamine as well. And then chemical abuse absent, abnormal blood pressure, equivocal. Did you ever have abnormal blood pressure before when you were a kid?
One.
BP, blood pressure.
Yeah, I did. I have high blood pressure. Wasn't back for a while.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
My blood pressure's
Yeah.
normal now.
Oh, by the way, I got the word equivocal wrong. So for chronic illness, pregnancy, and tics / unusual motor, it says equivocal, but it means the test result is unclear, uncertain, or could be open to multiple interpretations. It is neither definitively positive nor definitively negative. This is often considered an indeterminate or inconclusive result. So the possibilities that it mentions here are early stage of a condition. Your body may have started producing an immune response like antibodies, but not enough for the test to register as a full positive result. Cross-reacting antibodies. The test may be reacting to antibodies from a similar but different past infection, another type of coronavirus causing a common cold. When testing for COVID-19 antibodies, technical or sample error, there might have been an issue with the test procedure, the machinery, or the way the sample was handled. Borderline findings. In imaging studies, the findings may not clearly identify an issue, but also cannot definitively rule it out, e.g., an abnormal spot on a scan that could be scar tissue or a potential disease recurrence. And then also it says for me, abnormal heart rate / rhythm. Did you, in your developmental analyses, did you ever receive any vague test results, or was anything really vague to you about, what your condition was, or how people were supposed to deal with you, or whatever, for lack of better words? Hello? Yeah, were people ever confused at how to talk to you?
No, but when I was in high school, everybody thought I was on drugs.
Oh. Well, that's probably because of your voice. It always sounds like you're chronically tired.
Yeah.
Okay, and then height less than 5%. Not sure what that means, but it does say absent. And then minor anomalies also absent, and then other medications none. And then at the time I was on Ritalin 5 milligrams, 0.25 milligrams per kilogram, and the time taken was 6:30 a.m. and the time assessed was 8 a.m. And then assessment procedures utilized MFAT. Let me double check what that is.
Well, I told her, I said, I don't know. She knows I love her. I just hope she forget me for not helping her. I mean, I really did it. I don't know. I just wish
Mhm.
I could just do something to help her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just didn't feel like I should throw her my car down because she would not put anything wrong with the car. But I think what was, she tried to move her license and her mom didn't want that.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out why you're coming in sort of fuzzy. I mean, I can hear your words fine, but there's sort of like a garbling coming along with your words.
What?
A garbling, like a distortion, if you will.
Well, you dropped my phone.
Oh, you dropped your phone. Okay. Well,
No,
we'll just-
I didn't. They did. They dropped it twice. I
yeah.
really don't like when people have on my phone.
Uh-huh. So the apparently the MFAT is supposed to be marriage and family therapy, I guess. um Marriage and family therapy, the thing that you go to when you're a married couple, and there's a psychologist that specializes in working with married couples who also have children. Have you ever heard of that kind of counseling before?
No, I wouldn't get that. I don't have any children.
I know. I'm just reading down this list here, and I'm trying to figure out what everything is. Okay. Let's see. What is the 2-minute rule? The 2-minute. Oh, I seem to remember being tested with this. The ADHD 2-minute rule from David Allen's GTD says if a task takes under 2 minutes, do it immediately to prevent backlog. But for ADHD, it often backfires, causing overwhelm, time misestimation, and task switching chaos. Instead, some experts suggest a modified rule, e.g., 5 minutes, using timers to start tasks, not finish them, or the 5-second rule, count down to start, to build momentum while writing down tasks that pop up instead of dropping everything.
Oh, God.
Mhm.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Then,
Okay. Well, then later on, I was put on Ritalin 20 milligrams at 1.0 milligrams per kilogram, and then the schedule says 8 a.m. And then it says current functioning, independent functioning, tremulous, down in appetite, and won't sleep. Let me see what tremulous means.
all I know is I had a very hard time with people.
Yeah, so it says tremulousness is the quality of shakiness, quivering, or trembling, often from fear, nervousness, weakness, or excitement, but can also describe physical vibrations or a lack of resolve, like a tremulous voice or tremulous hands. It's the state of being tremulous, an adjective describing something unsteady, timid, or easily shaken. Did you ever have anything like that? Well, what was there anybody who you especially feared being around or speaking up to? Was there anyone intimidating? Okay.
Mom.
Yeah. So anyway, it said for the Ritalin, I was very paranoid on the 20 milligrams, more slow to adapt, intense and negative with temper tantrums. But academic achievement was very well in school. Other was terrible rebounds, I guess, of inattention and hyperactivity. Um, yeah, yeah, definitely. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So then, by 8/12 the 4, whatever that is, um, 4 was 94, and then 8. What month is 8? Is that August? Yeah, 8 is August. Ninth month of the year is September. 10th month is October. All right. Anyway, so at that point, I was on. The schedule was 8/12/4. I don't know what that means. Uh, maybe I was supposed to. Uh, what does a schedule of 8/12/4 mean in medicine? Yeah, so just as I guess, typically means that doses of the medication should be administered at 8 a.m., 12 p.m., and 4 p.m. Wow, that's wild. This is a specific example of a 3 times a day, abbreviated as TID, dosing regimen, where the times are specified to fit within waking hours and maintain a consistent interval between doses. Okay, so all these things are improved. Home behavior, school performance, social perception, communication skills, independent functioning, somatic function, arousal level, impulsivity, vigilance, distractibility, monitoring, and problem solving. Unchanged were gross motor coordination and fine motor dexterity. And then irritability was absent from the potential side effects. Depressed / sad was absent. Appetite was vague. Slow growth absent. Unusual motor tics says present. I guess vocal tics and clearing the throat. Yeah. And then absent for headaches and dizziness. By the way, did you ever have any tics or headaches or dizziness at all? Those things are supposed to be neurological, I think. Tics, headaches, or dizziness as a child. Did you have any of those? Hello? Yeah. Did you have any tics, headaches, or dizziness as a child?
Yes, I did.
Oh, did it come from medication or did it just come naturally?
It was natural, but I don't know. I thought I was having seizures.
Yeah. So, but you wouldn't get vertigo like Alan does, right?
No.
Let's see. Did you ever have sleep disturbance as a child? Sleep disturbance.
I don't know, but I never. My mom said I really slept good.
Okay.
She said I was a good baby. I don't know what that means.
Oh, well, it means you're not able to sleep well. That you keep like waking up random
No,
times
no,
when
no,
I.
no. I slept.
What?
I didn't have any trouble.
Okay.
I never had any trouble sleeping.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Hmm.
so
Okay.
you got a lot more testing than I thought I
Uh-huh.
might. Psychiatry. And my mom thought it was retarded. So.
Well, I was born, close to the acceptance of the Americans with Disabilities Act, which was in 1990. That same year, I entered kindergarten, so I did have a lot of advantages over you because a lot of these testings were required by that time, by law and stuff like that, in order to work with the school to accommodate me and stuff like that. It would seem. I mean, uh, given that someone recommended that we get the evaluation, otherwise they said, I wouldn't make it through school and stuff like that, and or no school would accept me if my parents did not have me put on Ritalin, just because the standard is just so like mandated or like authoritarian, if you will. But kind of the same way that you know that people think about the vaccines. Despite the risks or anything like that, we're not thinking about the risks. We're thinking about it transactionally, and we're also thinking about it as far as liability wise. For the big profiteers and stuff like that. Because if they make too little money, they're going to change the law so they get their money anyway, right? Anyway, I'm just speculating. But anyway, um, I had mentioned to the doctor here that the inappropriate attribution keeps me pretty awake. Okay, so it says inappropriate attribution in a child with ADHD refers to a distorted or inaccurate way of explaining the causes of events, particularly regarding their own behavior, success, and failure. This often involves a negative attribution style that impacts their self perception and social interactions. Hmm. It says key aspects of inappropriate attribution in ADHD, attributing success to external factors. Children with ADHD are more likely to attribute their successes, e.g., doing well on a test, having a positive social interaction, to external, unstable factors such as luck or the ease of the task, rather than their own effort or ability. Do you remember the scene from Star Wars where Han Solo thinks that Luke being able to defend himself against the laser ball while blindfolded is just a bunch of luck, and then Obi-Wan responds, "In my experience, there's no such thing as luck." Do you remember that? Oh well. Anyway, it says this can undermine their sense of competence and self-efficacy. Uh, let's see. Attributing failure to lack of control slash effort. Oh, you know what? This is the perfectionism and fatalism thing. While some children may blame a lack of effort for failure, children with ADHD often view their problematic behaviors or failures as less within their control and more global across situations. Hostile attribution bias. Some studies show that hyperactive, aggressive boys with ADHD are more likely to attribute hostile intentions to peers in ambiguous social situations, e.g., assuming a peer meant to provoke them when the intention was unclear. This can lead to inappropriate and aggressive reactions. Parental attributions. Parents of children with ADHD may also exhibit an inappropriate attribution style, viewing their child's negative behaviors as more internal, a character flaw, stable, always present, and less controllable by the child, which can lead to negative parent child interactions and more punitive discipline. Consequences of inappropriate attribution. Low self-esteem. Consistently attributing negative outcomes to uncontrollable personal characteristics and positive outcomes to luck can lead to chronic low self-esteem and negative self-talk. Did you ever encounter any of this sort of thing? Did you believe that some things were out of your control that weren't, or some things were uh, were in your control that weren't? Did you have any confusion at all between what things were in your control and which things weren't? Hello? All right. It says medication refusal absent. Other signs / symptoms. School, first grade, subtraction sometimes confuses him. 35 kids, 25 boys. Writes really hard and pencil doesn't do so good. Very perfectionistic. Home, trouble waking up and dressing. Peers, kids beat him up at recess. Jeffrey is best friend at school. So are all girls. Interesting. So assessment procedures utilized MFAT, NAB, and math. Okay. Let's see. What is NAB assessment for ADHD? Okay. The NAB, Neuropsychological Assessment Battery, isn't a single ADHD test, but a comprehensive modular tool for adults age 18 to 97, assessing cognitive skills, including attention, memory, executive functions, language, and spatial reasoning, with its attention module and executive function module directly relevant to ADHD symptoms by evaluating focus, planning, and impulse control in a flexible way, helping to differentiate ADHD from other conditions. It provides detailed cognitive profiles, guiding diagnosis and treatment planning for neurological conditions, including ADHD. Yeah. So the attention module focuses on sustained attention, selective attention, and vigilance, crucial for ADHD. Executive function module assesses planning, working memory, inhibition, and problem solving, all affected in ADHD. Flexibility allows for tailoring the assessment to the individual specific challenges, making it great for complex cases. Comprehensive helps rule out other issues like memory problems or language deficits that can mimic or co-occur with ADHD. And I said here that off meds I felt pretty good, but pretty many problems, very tired, and that I was very good in church. Interesting. Well, that's because I was always afraid that, obviously people would stop and stare at me and or get mad if I misbehaved at church. Oh, okay. So apparently over the course of my treatment, Marta Mulligan became Marta M. Borch. And then that was the case coordinator. And then the examiner / physician was Margaret Mary Wilkins, D.O. I was 113 centimeters tall, 5% growth. Weight was 20 kilograms, 15% growth. blood pressure was 76,50, heart rate was 80, NMT was 5, which was 4 standard deviations below the mean. Let me see, NMT. NMT. Oh, wow. Interesting. So the neurosequential model of therapeutics assessment is a comprehensive brain-based framework used by trained clinicians to understand how a person's history, especially trauma and adversity, has impacted their brain development and current functioning. It is not a specific diagnostic test for ADHD, but rather a tool that can be used alongside other assessments to inform a holistic treatment plan that may address symptoms overlapping with ADHD. Key aspects of the NMT assessment. Framework, not intervention. The NMT is an approach to clinical problem solving, not a single therapeutic technique or intervention itself. It helps mental health professionals select and sequence appropriate educational, enrichment, and therapeutic activities based on the individual's unique needs. Focus on development and trauma. The assessment emphasizes a detailed review of the individual's developmental history, including the nature, timing, and severity of adverse experiences, such as neglect, abuse, or household dysfunction. This helps explain how these experiences may have altered brain organization and function. By the way, my dad would always say that my mom refused to get marriage and family therapy because she felt too much shame, because she felt enormous pressure or Asian trauma, if you will, to just shut up and achieve, basically. And this happens in Asian families a lot. And of course, a lot of the kids do not realize that they grew up without, a sense of regulation, and that, between Asian kids and parents, it can sometimes be, almost a constant shouting match, except when guests are there or whatever. And then, of course, everything is made nice for the guests and stuff like that. But, the day-to-day relations between Asian kids and their parents, I don't think it's so hot. Especially like the overachievers and stuff like that. You can read more about that sort of thing in Amy Chua's Tiger Parenting books, which a lot of white American parents consider to be a form of abuse. But obviously, if Asians who have reached the upper middle class don't do exceptionally well, then they're just going to be ignored by white people at large. They just have to have such a strict sense of discipline, to make it to the top, if you will. And of course, there would be, if the child turns out to be average, there's no way they're moving up in like a rural, all white society, and they'll be totally hated, resented, and of course never given that first job that everybody else gets when they're 14, if you will, at the gas station or whatever. Generally speaking, because say the Asian male is just considered too boring. But the thing is, they notice these things even if the child is mixed race and has a white appearance for the most part. So sometimes people know something's different, but they can't put a finger on it. Let's see. Functional brain map, NMT metric. Clinicians use a web-based tool to create a functional brain map, or NMT metric. This map is a visual representation of how different brain regions, brainstem, cerebellum, limbic system, and cortex are functioning relative to typical development for their age, highlighting areas of strength and vulnerability in sensory integration, self-regulation, relational ability, and cognitive skills. I do remember that Dr. Amen in his book talks about the one type of ADHD involving the limbic system, which involves like catastrophic reactions to sensing of
Richard.
danger.
Oh,
I have a muscle relaxer for you.
oh, cool.
You're tired, huh?
Mm.
Yeah. How do I,
Mhm.
you're Ann, is that your name?
My name's Kaylee.
Haley, I'm sorry. It's another strange, weird thing is you can tell me your name, and as soon as you leave, I don't know what it is anymore.
I'm the same way.
But no, this is not, I didn't,
Normal.
yeah.
It's we think it's all of the nurses and everybody think it's your muscle relaxant making you a little confused. But your body will start to get used to this medication, okay? But you've never taken that before, so we think it's having some side effects on you, okay?
I mean, Kevin, what was the
Tenacity.
tenacity?
It's right there. It's
Yeah, that's,
They're very, I don't know. We call it like a depressing medication where it kind of just like makes you like, they go to sleep. Like some people, like if I were to take a muscle relaxant, I'll be lights out for the rest of the day.
yeah,
So it's a very like downer medication. So it's gonna make you feel loopy, tired.
So anyway, individualized treatment planning, the results from the brain map and history assessment guide the creation of a personalized intervention plan that targets underdeveloped or damaged brain areas in a sequential bottom-up manner.
I didn't have big money, so I went to a community college.
This means addressing more primitive regulatory functions like a sense of safety and calm before moving to higher level cognitive functions like reasoning and focus, which are relevant to ADHD symptoms. Complementary tool for ADHD. While the primary diagnostic criteria for ADHD are based on the DSM-5, an NMT assessment can provide valuable insight when ADHD symptoms coexist with complex trauma histories. It helps differentiate between symptoms caused by trauma/adversity and those caused by ADHD, ensuring that the treatment approach is appropriate for the root cause of the behavior. For example, symptoms like difficulty focusing or regulating emotions might stem from trauma rather than primary ADHD. Geez, I wish Sergey had a chance to take some of these assessments. In essence, the NMT assessment is a framework for understanding complex behavior and planning targeted neuroscience-informed interventions rather than a standalone test for diagnosing ADHD. And by the way, my general practitioner told me that finally, after all of these years, and now I'm 41, I was like 5 when this assessment by Transact was done. After all these years, I'm finally going to get an MRI, which is something that Dr. Amen actually does regularly, for like anybody who has the money or the insurance coverage, except that he doesn't have any clinics in Pennsylvania.
It's horrible. It's horrendous.
I'm sorry.
Not your fault, hon.
But I feel bad. I'm your nurse, and I'm here to make sure you're not in pain. But it seems like all the pain medicine I gave you doesn't even work.
No,
The pain just breaks through it all.
no,
I'm sorry.
no. I'm constantly told it's from the infection in my back. And my back don't hurt anymore. It's all in the ribs. Now it's in my shoulder. Yeah. I don't know what this is for.
Yeah, maybe we can get a lidocaine patch in your shoulder.
Okay, that'll work.
Okay.
I said,
Yeah. Something.
yep, that'll be nice.
All right.
So-
Well, I'm sorry you're in pain, and I know it's not my fault, but I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
Okay.
So what happened is I had deficits too. It wasn't all her fault. So, I mean, I can't do arithmetic. So that was really weird. So we had one day, we had
Okay. All right. I am getting a little busy because everybody's requesting pain medications. So I will come back and chat to you, okay? But I have a lot of medications to go give, okay, before my shift ends.
okay.
Okay? Don't forget to take your muscle relaxant, okay?
Haley,
Yeah.
Oh, I
There you remembered it.
where is the?
It's right there.
Oh, I thought I didn't know if I took it or not.
You did it.
All right.
I'll be back, okay?
Hmm. Hmm. Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, what?
um,
You got woke up because I put you to sleep? Oh,
No,
by the
I
way,
was
you
all
sound
night.
normal now. I think it's because I charged the speaker finally.
Oh,
So it wasn't on your
Well-
end. Your phone's okay.
oh. Well, I don't know.
You were telling a story about a teacher that you had difficulty with, right? At a school you went to. You said something like
Well-
that to the nurse.
Yeah, it was wreck when I took the nursing program.
Oh, but what about elementary school? You never had any trouble with teachers in elementary school?
Well, not really. We had, it was our school. My school was like a one room school house, like the Mennonites, but all the grades were all in one room.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, what have I been watching?
no, Joseph.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he picks out good programs.
Yeah. What kind of stuff does he pick out?
Just really good movies. And
Well,
Really
the thing is, are they part of like an action genre? Are they part of like a religious genre?
no, there's just everything. I mean,
Does he like dramas? Does he like comedies, like sitcoms or anything like that?
no, not sitcom. Well, he likes what's that called? That what is it? What was it called? He likes the one with all this
Yeah, go ahead. Just describe it. Do you remember anything about the characters, about the setting?
well, the characters, the one's a neural neural something or other, and
Yeah.
she's in real life she's a neural thing, and then she likes this guy, and he's really smart too, and
So is that the main basis of the conflict within the sitcom?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's it's kind of funny.
Uh-huh.
It's not as funny as the old programs, but
Yeah.
it's
Hmm.
they have I don't know. I didn't realize. And one guy talks about Star Trek all the time. And
Oh, you mean the Big Bang Theory?
Big Bang Theory.
Oh, okay.
I keep pulling on my beard. Ugh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's because it's new and I don't know how to. I really don't know how to live with it without tearing it up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, did you have a goal of being Santa Claus?
Yeah, I guess.
Hmm.
what's his face? What's Steve? He said I should have somebody save it off. I said, "Are you serious?" I said, "I don't need that.
Yeah.
Well, why? You don't want that mess on your face." And I said, "Oh, just shut up."
Yeah.
He, I always wondered about him. He has a lot of the same things. I think he has attention deficit disorder. He's just really, it's like he's controlling.
Hmm.
He likes to control other people. And then he likes to convince them that the best thing for them to do is follow his directions. And
Yep.
It's just-
Obey my opinion. Yes. Very common trope. Yep.
Scientology TV.
Yeah.
I never heard of that.
Hmm.
I think Scientology is a big joke.
Yeah.
I can't
Not
believe that
surprised.
belief systems are so stupid.
Well, I mean, it was written up by a science fiction writer.
Really?
Yeah, L. Ron Hubbard. Yeah. In fact,
Yeah, that's
one of his unpublished novels, I think it's a novella, a short one. One of his unpublished novellas is on WikiLeaks. It was one of the first things released to WikiLeaks. I think it was called something like Trouble in the Stars or something like that. But yeah, it was a space themed science fiction book, and it was like available in PDF form. And yeah, it really showed, his kind of creative thinking, if you will. I mean, he fabricated the whole religion from scratch, but it was as if he wanted to live out his science fiction fantasy within the religion. But then, it got to the point where it didn't have anything really much to do with the beliefs per se, but rather the internal conflicts, say social dynamics, like social phenomenons, if you will, that are common among all human beings, but exacerbated by the control system within Scientology. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting that you should say that. I like Ron Hubbard though, but his books seem to make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, the reason why they would make sense is because he was a writer of science fiction. If he could sound scientific, it means he was able to think in a very clear, logical way. Nothing was left up to interpretation. In other words, have you ever experimented with writing logic statements, like no matter how insulting they might be to somebody, or that's a philosophy exercise. Like, for example, in the philosophy major, Sergey was challenged to write an essay about the ethics of wanting to commit suicide or something like that. Yeah. Or
do such a stupid thing?
Well, the thing is, it's because you're supposed to distance yourself emotionally, from the subject material so that you can write, um, like emotionless logic statements as analysis of the concept rather than actually going inside the concept and reacting to it emotionally as most people would normally do. That's why philosophy is so hard. It's because you have to distance yourself emotionally from what you're talking about, because philosophy does have to, go into controversial topics like death and like, um, why people would say some people should die, some people should live, some people should suffer, some people shouldn't suffer, blah 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 blah. Yeah. And how do you convince a person, say, who doesn't believe in privilege, that like another person does have privilege? Because the whole idea is that there's all of these sort of invisible systems that are interacting, and sometimes doing really simple logic statements helps you to work them out. Now, obviously, if you're engaging emotionally in something, well, then you have to go on and on for a while, because you have to process it so that it doesn't affect you to the point where it drives you toward thinking about the subject material in a way that's harmful to yourself or others or whatever. you know so that's the thing. How do you say it? Sometimes they say psychologists need psychologists, just like lawyers need lawyers, if you will, because sometimes people take a little too much liberty, when they're generalists, and then they have to hire a specialist and so on and so forth, to get clarity. Uh, yeah, it's
I
wild.
don't know. There's I have, like, she looks like she works out or something. She's really stout and very unusually, um, um, like she looks like she has the perfect body.
Oh,
And she
yeah.
works at the prison too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she said, and really bushfire, all kinds of things. And she said today she has to have her hair up. I said, well, what goes having your hair up?
Mm-hmm.
They study it, he's so rapid. I don't really understand that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I wonder why they took Jerry Lewis off.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have Jerry Lewis on
Mm-hmm.
TV anymore.
Yeah.
I really liked him.
Mm-hmm.
But he was arrogant, though.
Mm-hmm.
He was like an arrogance about him. Somebody said something really, stupid about him. He said, he didn't value handicapped people very well, because he thought that they were a handle person.